Portal 2, the game you play once, have an absolute blast playing, but never play it again, letting it collect dust on your shelf until one day, years later, you're absolutely brain dead, bored, and you go to your shelf for some reason to find something to occupy your time. Then you see it and think, hey, that game was super fun. I should give that another run. That's sort of what happened to me. Rewind back to 2011. I was like 9 at the time, and my dad had a subscription to Game Informer. He never read them, but I'm only sure he had it because of the membership at GameStop he had because he liked to save money. But I read them, and I would get excited every single month we would get one. I don't remember the issue number or what month it was, but I remember reading about the review of the game, and I remember thinking, hey, this game seems sick. I'm going to ask for it for Christmas. At the time, the only time I would ever get any games were for Christmas, so I waited and I would write down games I wanted on a Christmas list, hoping Santa would get it for me. Fast forward to Christmas of that year, and I got all the games I really wanted, including Portal 2 for PlayStation 3. Now, this is a phase in my life where I was a Call of Duty fanboy, alright? I was then 10 years old, and my brain is literally barely able to comprehend complex shit. So when I played Portal 2 for the first time, it was co-op with my brother, and I said, what the hell? This sucks. You're just shooting portals at walls, and I don't even know what to do. So I went back to playing Modern Warfare 3 to mindlessly kill people in multiplayer, and Portal 2 went back to my game drawer, and it sat in there for 6 years. No one played it, touched it, or even thought about it. Then, around 2 to 3 years ago, don't even know when, but I know I was 16. I found myself wanting to play PlayStation 3 because I'd gotten bored of playing my Xbox One. The problem is that I really wasn't in the mood to play a multiplayer game. I wanted something to play that was a little slower and at my own pace. This is also around the time where I was literally breaking controllers playing multiplayer games, so I just needed a break. I glanced over to Skyrim and Fallout in Vegas, and I just thought, no, I don't want to play that. I want something I could just pick up and play and not have to invest a lot of time in. Because I was only at my dad's for only the weekend. Then I saw Portal 2 and I thought, that could be fun. I could just play it for a bit and stop whenever. Never did I think I would love it so much. I beat it over the course of 2 days and I had so much fun playing it. I only had to look up a tutorial for one of the levels where you had to like splash paint or something in between two walls. I genuinely overthought that whole level and I felt so stupid because it was so simple. But I was pretty proud of that because I'd never previously played a puzzle type game. I've played games where there are some easy puzzle elements to it, but never a whole game where that was the main focus. After that weekend, though, it went back into my game drawer, never to be played again, even to this day. It still remains in my game drawer at my dad's house. It haven't been touched since. Fast forward to June 25th, 2020, though, the beginning of the Steam Summer Sale. I spent $217.15 on 18 games. Among them was Portal 2. I wasn't initially going to buy it, but Valve games were dirt cheap, so I said screw it and I bought it for $2, along with a few other Valve games. And oh boy, does this game put a damn smile on a 19-year-old's face. I've sort of forgotten a lot about the game, so it's kind of new to me in a vaguely familiar as I go along type of way. But first, let's talk about the graphics. May I say that for a game that came out in 2011, made by Valve, it still looks pretty alright by today's standards. And I do think they've aged quite okay. Nothing to brag home to mom about, but okay. But who really gives a shit about graphics though, especially from a Valve game? We expect high quality gameplay, story, and even characters. But how did Valve do? Well, I think they kind of knocked it out the park, at least a home run, or at least for me anyway. The gameplay, it is so damn fun. I could alone spend 10 minutes just falling in a loop. I don't know why my brain likes it so much when I'm falling infinitely at Mach fucking 5 for 10 minutes, but it does and it won't stop. Also, I don't know if it's set up like this. I haven't really asked anyone else, but the game makes me feel like I'm smart. A million other people can do the same thing I did with the Portal, but in my brain, when I do it, it feels like I came up with it on my own. And when a game makes me feel like that, I know it's a good game and that it has good gameplay. And even sometimes I have to take like 5 minutes to recollect the information I've gathered and come up with solutions. But on the other side of the coin, this game can make me feel so fucking stupid. I can sit in a room for about 15 minutes to finally realize, oh, I was supposed to do that the whole time? And it will be the most ridiculously easy thing ever. It's just like, look at this right here. I spent close to like 10 minutes trying to figure out, oh, I could just jump off. Like, I never think it's that simple. I think it's more complicated than that. Like, you let the little, I forgot the name of it, but you let it flow you across and you just jump off. And I thought it was more complicated than that, but it really isn't. And I never think it's that simple. And it's just weird to me. But side note, people who speedrun this game, which by the way is some of the crazy shit I've ever seen, these absolute legends push this game to its absolute limit, doing the craziest shit. And I have nothing but the utmost respect for those guys. But it's also incredibly entertaining to watch these guys do what they do. But anyways, the different mechanics in this game are so fun to play with. There are a blue, orange, and gray gel, which are the repulsion, propulsion, and conversion gel. The blue being the repulsion, allowing you to bounce up in the air. The orange being propulsion, making you fast. And gray, which is the conversion, letting you make portals on any surface. These three simple additional mechanics make these levels all the more fun, and then using these all in tandem with each other, it's just entertaining for hours. Then you got the hard light bridge. Yeah, I had no idea what these were called until I read the wiki. I really just kind of like went through the game. They might have told me what the names of them were, but I really don't recall. I was like literally just thinking light line. Like I had like the most absurd names for these. I didn't know the names until I read the wiki for like any of this. The hard light bridge were kind of disappointing to me. I feel like there wasn't enough use for them besides walking on them and using them as shield from turrets. But what could I really expect? But yeah, I kind of wish they were implemented like better. Besides those two reasons I gave, I feel like those were just utterly disappointing and like just a missed opportunity. And then finally, the excursion funnel. This was a great part of the game. It was at times pretty frustrating because I would sit there wondering how it would work in the level, but then I would figure it out and it would feel so rewarding. The only complaint with this mechanic is that we didn't get to use the reverse version of it very much. Like I'm pretty sure it was only used for like 2 levels and that was it. And I feel like if that could have been used in a lot more creative ways and such, it could be like implemented. Like I feel like I could think of like 5 different levels just using the reverse version of the excursion funnel. Besides all of that, I really had no problems with the gameplay. I found it enjoyable throughout, and this time I used no guide. It was all me and my barely working brain. Next is the story. Disclaimer, this part will have spoilers, so if you haven't played the game, don't even continue the video, dude. Go by and play the game in its entirety and then come back here. You won't regret it. Trust me on this one. Also, I didn't play the first game, so crucify me if I get something wrong. I probably will. Anyways, the game can be finished within 6 to 10 hours. The story is kind of simple, but long story short, you help a little robot named Wheatley take over GLaDOS, the antagonist of the previous game, as the computer mainframe in charge. After helping acquire his power, he turns evil and tries to kill you and Potato GLaDOS, which he puts in a potato. He puts GLaDOS in a potato. But you have to help GLaDOS, and GLaDOS has to help you stop him before he destroys the whole facility. The story is simple, but it works in my opinion. I don't really know what to expect from a story like this in the short run time, but I don't see it as anything bad, but I don't see it as anything groundbreaking. I just see that it was okay, but it doesn't really need a groundbreaking story to be good. But when you finally get to that final level to see Wheatley, you just want revenge. But this is easily the most disappointing thing about the game to me. It's the final boss fight with Wheatley. Like, I get the idea is that Wheatley is an idiot. He was designed to be an idiot, but this boss fight was so easy even back then. I remember it being so easy. I wish it was a bit more complicated to figure out because everything is pretty straightforward compared to everything else in the game. It's just kind of unsatisfying to me, even though we do get to send Wheatley to the moon, which I will say that was pretty badass. Space! And then after all that, you finally get sent to the surface, all while being sent to by turrets. At least that was nice. Then the game ends. But how are the characters? Well, what this game needs is for the characters to be great. And from what I've heard, GLaDOS was amazing in the first game. In this game, you get to spend quite a bit of time with her, and she is great all throughout. She's pretty funny. She is still the same GLaDOS from the first game, even though towards the end of the story, she kind of has a change of heart about you and realizes, hey, I don't want you here. Every time you're involved, everything goes wrong. So I don't want you here anymore. I'm sending you to the surface. But for the most part, GLaDOS was amazing. But in this game, she takes a backseat to the real star of this game, Wheatley. In my opinion, Wheatley is truly a gem. He's hilarious. He's an absolute idiot, and he's English. I love English people. I'm a sucker for funny English people. The voice actor, Stephen Merchant, did a phenomenal job with Wheatley, and I think he should do more video game voice acting because every time Wheatley showed up, it was a treat for me. And the fact that this game has quite a small amount of actual voice characters, a total of 8 actually in the whole game. I know the first one had even less, but I'm not talking about that. It is great to see that each one of these characters are enjoyable to be around and to listen to, and just shows that Valve knows what they are doing in terms of characters, and I hope it remains that way. They make beloved characters, and Wheatley definitely is up there in like S tier for me. I also really hated the fucker because near the end of the game, I just really thought he was annoying, which is great. I like that development. And Cave Johnson in the small part of this game was a very entertaining voice in this game. You never actually see him besides pictures, of course, but you only hear him through pre-recorded messages. Him talk about these different experiments he conducts on like homeless people and then his own workers is both quite horrific but funny at the same time, and that's something I can get behind. In conclusion, I think this game does a lot of things right, especially for a puzzle game. It has heart and personality, just like the first, and we can thank Valve for that. It makes you think, it's sometimes rewarding, and it sometimes makes you feel stupid. The level design is great and intricate, the mechanics are so fun to play with, the story, although simple and with an easy final boss fight, is easily overshadowed by the characters that you hear throughout the game. The game's humor is great and it sticks. It's a great game to play even today for literally anybody, kids or adults, family, or a single depressed guy living in their mom's basement. It's hard to not smile when you play this game, and I surely hope that it doesn't become the last time I play this. Hopefully it won't stay in the game drawer because it doesn't deserve it. It really doesn't. Portal 2 is a great game that everyone should experience. Maybe play the first one though, and don't be an idiot like me. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Alt Gods here, and I just wanted to tell you that this video took quite a while for me to make. For some reason, throughout the recording of this video, when I was playing the game would stutter for some reason, like really badly, and it was like the only game that would do that, and I don't know why. I don't know if it was my computer or the game itself. I looked on the internet that some other people had the same problem, so I don't know what was with that. But yeah, it was really a pain in the butt to get this footage for this video. But I persevered and I did this video because I really like this game. So if you guys could like the video, subscribe, or comment if you enjoyed, it would really help me out. And I just want to get out there into the YouTube world. And as you could probably hear, I got a mic. I got a Blue Yeti. So I want to invest into this career if I can. I want to put my time into it. I want to make these videos that I enjoy. I wanted to make Destiny videos, but I just don't really enjoy Destiny. I don't want to be just a one game creator because I get burnt out on games pretty easily. So I thought, hey, let's do video essays. I really like talking about video games. I really like talking about different things. So I decided, hey, let's do this. So yeah, I just wanted to let y'all guys know what I wanted to do with this channel. So yeah, this is Alt Gods. I'm out.